industry. Steve, welcome.
Well, thanks for having me on, Alex. I really appreciate it. Hey, Gerald, your ace is in my book, and so are you, Alex. I worked on nukes for a long time in the Air Force. And, I'm talking about the big boys, the ICBMs. And a lot of those were plutonium-238. I'm going to tell you what, the guy in the Navy's right. One small speck of that stuff, you're dead on the hammer. I don't care what you take, okay? It makes no difference how full your thyroid is. People have to understand that, number one. Number two, I'm not trying to make anybody, go crazy and go, oh, my God, we're all dead tomorrow. There's a lot of factors that could play into this. It's just like the doctor said. The stuff could blow into the Pacific.
Well, also, plutonium and uranium, as you know, is as heavy as it gets, so most of it will fall in the ocean. But anybody around there in Japan, if that uranium or plutonium gets out, is deader than a hammer.
You got it. You got it right. And see, the other thing that I wanted to stress to you, too, is, okay, those two explosions, the number 1 house and number 3 house. Number 1 wasn't so bad. Number 3 was off the charts as far as I'm concerned. I mean, I've seen, small kiloton explosions that look like that. The thing you have to understand, too, is, that area just went through a huge earthquake and is going through aftershocks all the time now. That bedrock underneath those plants is severely compromised, okay? And what makes you think for 1 second that any of those lines that are running underneath those plants, be it electric, water feed, backflows, anything underneath there isn't compromised as well? And
then it gets into the water table of Japan.
Yeah, exactly. What's going to happen, Alex, if you go to your sink and you hit that faucet and you fill up a glass of water? You don't know that stuff's in there. You have no idea. You can't smell it. You can't feel it. You can't taste it. You can't see it.
But you said it, sir, watching Fukushima 3 blow up. I mean, I've watched a lot of battlefield footage of the biggest daisy cutters being dropped. They look, I mean, those are 9-story buildings that look like specks below that. I mean, I'm just dead reckoning 3,000 to 4,000 feet in seconds. I mean, it looks like the field gun artillery launched nukes that I've seen tested in old testing footage at White Sands. I mean, it looks like a tactical nuke going off.
Sure, and what people have to realize too is, just because it see, the doctor was talking about equal pressure explosion, okay? Meaning that the pressure is equal on all sides of the containment vessel, and the building just blows apart. That itself wouldn't do anything to the containment vessel because why? It blows out. Okay, you understand that, right?
Stay there, Steve. We're going to come back, have you finish, then go to Gerald Celente. Dr. Bob Bowman joins us again tomorrow, and we're going to go to Sean, TJ, Aaron, Tyler. Folks, this is going from bad to worse. We'll continue to cover it.
It's the winter cold and flu supplement sale at herbalhealer.com. Take advantage of Herbal Healer Academy's incredible savings on the best cold and flu supplements available. Many of you know elderberry is exceptional against viral infections. Right now, Herbal Healer Academy has Elderberry Power, regularly priced at $16.95, now incredibly low at only $10 for 60 vegetarian caps. For children and seniors, our Herbal Healer Academy Flu Away Elderberry Liquid is only $13 for a 4-ounce bottle. Also on super sale, olive leaf capsules, oregano oil plus capsules, and our incredible Respirate formula, Oregacillin Physician Strength capsules for your lungs. Normally $34.95, now just $25. Hit the winter specials link at herbalhealer.com for these cold and flu supplement specials and other on-sale products like apple cider vinegar, brain power, and neuro recovery. New customers get a free catalog with your first order. Log on and hit the winter specials now at herbalhealer.com.
They helped to create a new world order.
We are part of a new world order.
A new world order based upon collective action.
Invisible Empire is a damning indictment of the globalists through their own words and documents.
The new world order really is a tool for addressing a new world of possibilities.
It means all the world under their control.
The United Nations would take over America. The Trilateral Commission would control the world.
Invisible Empire chronicles how men of power and influence have worked in stealth for centuries to establish an oppressive world government.
I believe, first of all,
that we now need nothing short of a world constitution for the global financial system.
Global governance with the establishment of the G20.
So it's going to be an inner ruling elite and then everyone else. And I got news for you. You're everyone else.
Invisible Empire. Secure your copy today at Infowars.com or PrisonPlanet.com, or watch it online in the highest quality at PrisonPlanet.tv.
This message starts with a great offer from Big Berkey Water Filters, because we don't want you drinking dangerous water 1 minute longer. Right now, purchase any filter system from BigBerkeyWaterFilters.com to get your choice of 2 Berkey Sport bottles, a KDF shower filter, a set of fluoride filters, or our new sight glass spigot absolutely free. Why do this? Because over 60% of municipal water is fluoridated, and at less than 2 cents per gallon, Berkey Water Filters purify both treated and untreated water, removing dangerous chlorine, fluoride, and other contaminants. Big Berkey water filters are powerful enough to purify stagnant pond water, so they're perfect for rainwater collection systems and emergency preparedness. Remember, Big Berkey includes free shipping on every order over $50, and GCN listeners get 5% off all ceramic filter systems. Visit BIGBERKEY waterfilters.com or call 877-99-BERKEY. That's BigBerkeyWaterFilters.com, or call today 1-877-99-BERKEY.
He's the T-Rex of political talk. Alex Jones on the GCN Radio Network.
Tim Frugier, that works here in the office, went out to get himself on his lunch break some iodine from kelp. A few drops a day of this for things like cesium and radioactive iodine will fill the thyroid and protect you. But it won't protect you from uranium and plutonium, as you've been hearing. He was there and went to Central Market, completely sold out. And then he went to New Flower, and literally, as he was reaching, one guy grabbed the other bottle, he grabbed the only other bottle, and there was a line of people running up behind him saying, we're here to get the potassium iodine. And it's our listeners. One guy was wearing a Ron Paul shirt and said, listening to Alex, huh? And hey, if it ends up not being as bad and it doesn't blow over here, great, you were prepared. Plus, it's a great dietary supplement. But the larger issue here is that we can't trust the media. We can't trust the government to tell us the truth with the history of nuclear testing, the atomic soldiers, 3 Mile Island, what the Russians did with Chernobyl in the Ukraine outside Kiev. And I'm going to get Gerald Celente of Trends Research take on that in just a moment. But finishing up with Steve in Ohio, who worked on ICBMs, and he was trying to finish a point when we went to break. Go ahead, Steve.
You know, Alex, I have to answer your question about why the government isn't telling us the truth. Why do they always try to hide it? Why are they doing this? Why are they doing that? The only thing I can tell you is plausible deniability. That's what it all boils down to every time.
So they're all trying to shuck responsibility, from the plant manager to the head of Japan's nuclear agency to our own government. They just want to deny it.
You know what they say, stuff rolls downhill and it ain't biscuits.
All right, God bless you, Steve. Good to hear from you. Gerald Celente, what do you want to say about what Steve was just saying?
Well, he was talking about that, the explosion, if it happened internally. Look, let's just, again, I'm not making any assumptions. All I'm saying is that when you see these kind of explosions, number one, did they kill anybody? And number two, what makes anyone think there's anyone around there doing anything?
Yeah, why are we not getting... In fact, that was the question I forgot to ask him, and then Steve forgot to answer it. He was going to comment on the explosion. Why aren't we getting any information? That's really suspicious as well.
Well, exactly. What I'm saying is, you see an explosion like this, how many people did it kill? And number two, who could possibly be doing anything around there to try to fix the problem? The place is blowing up. Now, again, let's get into the real world over here. When I asked Dr. Bowman the question, he said, they better have good life insurance. I mean, the fact is, who are you going to tell to go in there and go do something? You're already out of your mind unless you're suicidal.
There are reports that there's no looting in Japan. They're one of the most moral people on average when it comes...
No, I'm talking about inside the plant.
No, I'm saying if any group of people on average that you're going to find general citizens willing to go in and fry themselves, it would be Japan. But the point is we're not hearing anything.
No, and I can't imagine, again, those kind of conditions. And we're talking about major explosions here. It's not like they just go away and everything's okay. So
we're talking about giant nuke reactor facilities disappearing.
Yeah. So there's what I'm saying is no one's on the job. This thing, to wherever it goes, I don't know where it's going to go. All I'm saying, it's out of control. Nobody's in charge here.
Well, you're right. If this was just at this one 6-nuke facility, they might be able to handle it. They've got reactors in all stages of critical meltdown all over the country.
Yeah, and again, how do you fix it? What do you call the fire department in? Again, these things are... And you pointed out as well, over the years, and that's what that whole beginning of Trends 2000 was about, all of these accidents that keep happening, that they keep covering up, and then they keep letting it out slowly as time goes by. But again, the other picture here, the world keeps going around. They're not talking in Libya right now about the earthquake in Japan. They're not talking about what's going on in Bahrain, about the nuclear power plant in Japan. They're not talking about it in Yemen. What we're seeing, Alex, this is going to go out of the news eventually. But the conditions that are leading us to this first great war of the 21st century, of which this is going to be another element of, because Japan's going to be in real bad shape after this one. That's the biggest story. This is just a chapter in what we're seeing as an unfolding stretch of disasters that's going to be plaguing us for some time to come.
Well, expanding on that, I think you've answered the question, probably inadvertently or perhaps consciously. Why is our government and the Japanese covering up the severity? They've been caught doing it in the last 3-4 days, since Friday on record, that they've been caught lying about the initial meltdowns. They've been caught lying about the severity or how many plants, on and on and on and on, because they know that it'll just be like Haiti. It'll be just like the Gulf oil spill, which this dwarfs, where they still haven't gotten rid of 70% of the oil. It's on the bottom. When it's devastating, but out of sight, out of mind, they just move on from there. The radioactive cloud blows into the U.S. The FBI goes around to the universities that have the meters, tells them to shut up. We know that happened with the DU from Iraq in 2003. The British didn't shut up. Their universities did report high levels of it. And they'll just say, hey, TSA workers stand in radiation all day. It's good for you. Hey, the troops use DU. Hey, so what if a bunch of you die? We'll just ignore it in the press, and because they're going to go on building more nuclear reactors, and they've got the greenies all over C-SPAN. Every week I tune in saying they're going to have neighborhood nukes. Every neighborhood's going to have its own nuke, and these mini nukes, and they're just going to put them everywhere. I mean, it's insane.
Well, it is insane. As I said, there's a whole rush worldwide to keep building nuclear power plants. But Steve really, I think, summed it up, Steve from Ohio, when he said it's plausible denial. He's been around these people, and you could hear it in the intensity of his voice. And anyone that's worked around government, you know that's exactly what it is. And they're going to keep denying it. The other thing is they're afraid of freaking out the people. Because, I mean, look what just happened over there. And now they're saying, oh, you think that was bad? Guess what? You're going to get fried. No, they're not going to say that. So they're doing everything they can to keep this quiet. And even at the worst, even if it ended right now, how about all the damage that went into the water? How about the pollution of of so much of the oceans? This just doesn't stop around,
Yeah, because the Japanese fishermen, they're not going to want to be out of work. They're going to catch the fish and serve them up.
Exactly, just like they keep doing now.
Wow, and that is immorality, when everybody just goes along with lies because they think it's easier, and pretty soon it destroys your society. Sean in Canada, you're on the air. Thanks for holding.
Hey, Alex, I want to thank you for waking me up to everything. I want to know where's the outrage and everything. Where's the American people? I'm up in Canada, but I'm originally an American citizen, but I'm on the west coast of Vancouver Island. And we get a lot of our food, naturally. You know, we go to farms and eat it, you know, get it and eat it. I mean, and that radiation is going to come over and irradiate the fresh food we're eating, number one. You know, and, you know, the media is trying to downplay this.
Well, that happened in Eastern Europe.